Jasmine. Here's how to be that student for 2024 as a 4.0 GPA Division 1 student athlete who's graduating in 2.5 years. And so I'm graduating this semester, which is super exciting. So this video is split up into very different kind of chapters, and I listed it all in the description box below to make it very convenient for you. But I also do highly recommend watching the whole video just because there are very non-basic tips that will help you succeed as a student. And also, I promise nothing basic. Alright, let's get started. No matter what you're in, whether you're in grad school, high school, college, I would just say it's so important to know your resources and use them like there's no tomorrow. You really need to use your resources because that is the only way to get you far in life. I'm sure you've heard the saying that it's not what you know, but it's also who you know in life. And so use it. I feel like I was always constantly behind just because I've seen so many people younger than me, older than me, just doing things that are so insane to me that I feel like I could have never done. And I felt really lost because I felt like I didn't really know which pathway to go, and how are these people succeeding so much in life? And I realized that I have to use the opportunities I have at hand to then get me more opportunities in the future. And that can mean many things. I think the most important thing of all time is definitely use your professors. Your professors are your resources, and even if they're young, even if they're super old, you don't know what they might have for you. I'm not saying you have to leash off of them, but you kind of have to. For example, last night, my professor randomly gave me and my friend these free $2,000 tickets, VIP tickets to go see someone in the city, and obviously I took them. But the fact that he had connections to do that and hand out tickets like that means that he must have a lot of connections. And even if your professor is not doing that, still tries to reach out to them because they have worked in your career and your work life, and they know people that will actually help you. So to build connections, you honestly have to first obviously participate in class, let them get to know you, let them see that you're trying and working very hard. And that is the first step to even get on a professor's good side. If you fall asleep in class and never participate, I'm not sure if the professor will even remember you or recognize you. So have that in mind. And next, if they have office hours, go to their office hours. I do this every time. Every time I enter class, I always say hi, and I always tell them thank you at the end of class, just so they see face, and just little conversations will lead up to bigger conversations. And then next, after you kind of get a very good basis with them where they actually really do know you and recognize you, then you can start to really kind of keep getting on their good side until kind of you start talking to them about work life, and just ask them hey, I'm looking for this internship or looking for a job in this field. And if that professor's in that field, that would be great. But choose a professor that is in that field that could be able to help you. And you never know what might happen. I feel for me, every rejection is another opportunity for something else. So even if a professor doesn't have anything or doesn't want to help you, or whatever the case might be, there's always something better out there. I feel in life, you never know what might happen. One thing can just change your life drastically. So keep that in mind when you're in school. Every single thing is a resource. This then leads into kind of my next thing, where you turn every disadvantage into a advantage, or just a very neutral thing. I know there are tons of people that are very afraid of rejection and being afraid of what might happen, and I get it. I used to be a super overthinker, and I am, but only with just food now because I can't choose what I want to eat. But when I interact with people, I don't really get kind of anxious, if that makes sense. Yes, I feel nervous, but I'm not to the point where it stops me from doing what I need to do. And this is the first step in even creating opportunities for yourself. You can't expect things to happen to you without creating opportunities. You can't do it without saying hi. You can't do it without interacting with someone. How do you expect to be better if you don't try to make your situation better? You can't expect someone to help you by not speaking up. And I think that's honestly one of the biggest things I have learned from college, is that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but it's actually a sign of strength. If you ask for help, I promise you there will be help coming, and that the fact that you ask for it, that means that there will be people that are actively searching out to help you in your situation. You never know what might happen. Another big thing about being in school is that focusing on yourself is the most important thing. This might seem super obvious, but it really is so important, and people often overlook this fact. So, in your life, the main person is you. There is nobody else living your life but you. So your decisions really matter. So you have to really balance out like your future you and your present you. And yes, like you're young, you can make mistakes and stuff, and that is totally fine. And there are also a part of you where it's like, hey, like you also need to do work and balance school. And so I think the biggest thing is like hanging out with the right group of friends will lead you to success. And it might not seem like it, but the people that you hang out with often rubs off on you, I'm sure. Like you pick up their certain like words, they say certain phrases or certain like characteristics. And you might not even like consciously realize it, but it's a very subconscious thing. When you're young and developing, like those are the people that will be an influence in your life. Those are people that you hang out with the majority of your your life that you're very young in. So you have to like really be careful about who you choose as friends, because they could either very make you or break you or keep you very stagnant. Be aware of that. And I mean this in the best way. Like if you hang out with people that party 24/7 and don't study, don't do work, you might not be that type of person, but eventually like their habits will like rub off on you. So you have to really be aware of like what you are doing too. Another scenario where like you have people that are good, that are often motivated, very disciplined, you will also gain those characteristics because they will be like inviting you to study groups or like making sure you're on top of things. So like just making sure you have a good balance of like who your friends are, and a good awareness will help you in the long run. I also think that like especially in college, I feel like making friends is hard. So don't feel panicked if you don't find anyone super great yet. Like I was honestly pretty complacent, like not really having close friends until my second semester. Oh, actually, yeah, until like last semester of college. I am pretty picky and choosy about my friends. So when I found someone, like it wasn't like an immediate friendship either. Like you kind of had to let it like blossom. You kind of have to let it like take its place, and like so just make sure that your close group of friends is like someone that you want to be or someone that you want to grow into, because they will kind of dictate how you are like in this moment as well, and like how you grow up to be as well. I think in a special moment in life, if you don't find that there's a class that's available and there's something else that's more valuable than that, then I would say go to that event, go to whatever that is. But if there is no value in that other event, don't try to ditch class. So it really depends. Like make sure you have a good balance in like your mental health, because you're also young, you can make mistakes and you can grow, but also make sure you stay on top of your studies as well. So now I really want to touch base on like how to actually be good at class. I made like tons of videos on how to study and stuff, but honestly the best way, try to read the chapter beforehand just to kind of get context. If you have questions, ask questions, but if not, just stay in class, show up, be there for attendance, and like take notes. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you do your assignments early, or that you have enough time to do them. Because scheduling and time is very important, especially for me. Like I'm very busy with like my jobs, as a student and also as a Division 1 athlete. So I'm always running around everywhere trying to manage things. So make sure that you have a great schedule, and just making sure that you're staying on top of things. And that's always the best way to succeed in class. Just be there, pay attention, study, review, whatever you need to do that helps you. I made like a ton of videos, so I will kind of link them down below to help you. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am so happy we hit 200 subscribers. Let's be on the road for 1K subs. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you want to see next in my next video. And thank you so much, and love you guys.